No, mai haere mai. Welcome into Massey Park here in Auckland, round 4 of the NZRL Men's Premiership, and we have the Auckland Vulcans up against the Bay of Plenty Lakers. It is 3 playing 5 on the table in Section 8 as it stands at the moment, and a great game and a great afternoon of rugby league shaping up ahead of us this afternoon. Louis Anderson alongside me for the game this afternoon, Louis, and a team yet to register its first win this season, and in the Bay of Plenty Lakers against the Auckland Vulcans, who have had such a storied history in this competition over the years.
Yes, Sam, pleasure to be here. Bay of Plenty chasing their first win of the competition at the moment, so hopefully luck's on their side today.
Been a rough start for them. They lost in round 1 to Waikato, 44 points to 16, and then Akarana in round 3, 48 points to 8. So not only are they chasing a win, they're chasing a few points as well. They haven't been able to string the attack together, but the Vulcans, grand finalists last year, of course, winners of this competition with a golden point win against Counties. And here is their team list this afternoon. A few changes across the park and a few lotto numbers as well there, Louis. Who sticks out to you across that 17 from Auckland?
I mean, there's a couple of boys there that have come up from the Sharman Cup here from Hibiscus Coast Raiders. Corey Craig, I know, has been playing well in the campaign at the moment. He was in the Sharman Cup Team of the Year. Also, Sam Waterworth playing at lock. Another great player and one to watch.
And of course, coached by Simon Idemir, but plenty of exciting talent across that side. Not a lot of them from that grand final last year, but exciting nevertheless. Bay of Plenty and the Lakers team list for this afternoon. There is plenty of experience in this side, Louis. A couple of names that stick out for you.
Yeah, I mean, and Perry Johnson there at halfback. He's been there. He's a stalwart of Bay of Plenty Rugby League there. But also, I think one to watch out for, Alan Reka in the middle there at hooker. Apparently known as a big pig hunter, carries pigs out bigger than himself. But also the captain, Tony Matautia, brings a lot of experience to the Bay of Plenty side as well.
He does, the captain, Tony Matautia. Well, let's catch up with the Bay of Plenty Lakers coach down on the sideline, Damien White.
Well, Damien, still searching for that first win of the season. What's the approach today to get over this Vulcans team?
Oh, mate, we're just going to have to play footy for a full 80 minutes. You know, we've been really good in footy, and if it was a 40-minute game, we'd be champs. But, you know, it's an 80-minute game, and when you play any of these Auckland sides, you've got to be on your game. And, you know, difficult games, but it's obviously a really good learning exercise for your players. It is, mate. It is. And, you know, I've got a lot of boys come out of reserve grade. And so for them to be able to play against the top 100 players in the country, you know, it's a big up. And much respect to our boys, you know, fronting up.
And what for your region, what's the progression here? How do you get closer to these Auckland teams?
Mate, we just got to turn up and get numbers. You know, we have some boys that are sitting at home, and if they're watching this, you know, they need to come to training. They need to come and play and represent the Bay.
Awesome, mate. All the best.
Cheers. Thank you.
There you go, Damien White out of Bay of Plenty, as the side's about to run out onto Massey Park, and the Vulcans looking for win number 2 on the season. 1-1 with the bye as well, but losing to Counties in round 2, 17 points to 8. And as I mentioned, a rematch of last year's grand final where the Vulcans did win that in Golden Point, but it is a very new look Vulcans team in 2025. And I would say it's still chasing the Counties team this year as well. I guess everyone is 50 points to 0 over Waikato earlier today. That's just finished up, and that shows you a little bit about the gap between the teams that aren't quite at the top, Louis, and Counties, who are sitting up there alone on 4 wins from 4 games.
Yeah, Counties have had a few massive wins there, their last couple of games, so definitely be a hard one to chase. Bay of Plenty got a tough job on their hands today against Auckland here, so yeah, hopefully wins on their side, man, and they do some good things.
Speaking of wind, weather in Auckland today, it's a beautiful spring day, a little bit warmer than we've had over the last few weeks, Louis, and it looks like the rain has abated after coming down pretty heavy this week. So great afternoon, Saturday afternoon for running rugby league, and it'll be the Vulcans who do get us underway this afternoon. The last game of the day for the Men's Premiership here, Section 8. As referee blows us underway, and Kauhiva from the Vulcans, deep kick down towards Bay of Plenty's line, fielded it right in the end goal and brought out with a somewhat pedestrian first carry and quickly put to ground. Good strong contact by Failala. Now tackle 2 for Bay of Plenty. And slow play the balls right off the bat. And that's Bay of Plenty haven't quite been able to get that speed through the middle so far this season. As I mentioned earlier, they've only been able to muster 24 points in their first 2 games. Now a strong cutback through the middle, and now a quick play the ball from Burrell. They go again this time. It's Domata pushing up towards the 40, and on the last, deep in the pocket, they'll get a kick down towards the Vulcans end. So a decent set from Bay of Plenty, and this kick flirting with the touchline. It's a touch far over the dead ball, and that'll be 7 tackles coming back the other way for the Vulcans. It seemed like it was going to be a good end to the set there for Bay of Plenty, Louis, but a mistake in their first set gives the Vulcans a good start.
Definitely, I thought that was a big boot. I thought there might have been a bit of wind behind that kick, but as you can see, the trees aren't moving too much out there at Papakura, so mustn't be too much wind, but it looks like a dry track. Good day for footy.
Here is Te Ufua. Tackle 2. Quick play out of dummy half as well. Now run back through the middle by Jardine Ngaumo. And they get close to halfway here, the Vulcans, so they're finding easy meters. And out of dummy half, left side they go this time. Good carry from Sulla. Inside Bay of Plenty's half now, and out of dummy half, going for a little dart as well, is Te Ofohi. And that one just coming away from the Vulcans there, so Bay of Plenty survive. So it'll be a scrum for a Bay Plenty just out from their own line, but dangerous ball running through the middle from the hooker for the Vulcans to Ofohi, and getting the offload. They weren't just able to capitalise it on the Vulcans, but already looking pretty dangerous in their first set.
Yeah, definitely. We know Desi's a skillful player getting out there at hooker, but also keep an eye on that Corey Craig, well, pushing up in support. Dangerous player with a bit of speed, so we're close to seeing him in action then, but hopefully we'll see a bit more of him later on.
Yeah, good combination between the hooker and the number 1 for the Vulcans. They will do the damage through the middle, you would think, as Bay of Plenty off the back of their scrum. First tackle up here is Doa playing it on that far touch. Vulcans with just plenty of size in the middle of the park, and they like to slow the balls down. Here's Domata, already getting busy through the first 3 minutes of this match. Now, a bit of space out on the left. Good contact bomb. Fotu to bring down Johnson to the ground, and Bay of Plenty still want to go lateral here, as that'll bring up last tackle. Another kick option. Onto the right side they go this time. Kick deep from Tamali, and fielded at the back by Craig, who sizes up what's in front of him, decides he's going to go down the left, Craig, and he gets a bust right up over halfway with a man on his outside, still going. Craig, is he going to go all the way? He is. And that is individual brilliance on show from Corey Craig at the back for the Vulcans. He opens the scoring 3.5 minutes in, and that is scintillating from the young fullback.
Great skill, as I just mentioned earlier on. Hopefully we're going to see a bit of his brilliance, and we saw that there on his kick return. Nice little dummy there, breaking the Bay of Plenty defensive line. Look at the speed on him, eh?
Well, I'm not sure if the Bay of Plenty, I wouldn't call it the kick chase, because there wasn't really one, Louis, but certainly the covering defence as well. There wasn't a lot of urgency. Completely got around the fullback, Zaya Senior. And then when you're dealing with props and second rowers as your last line of defence, pretty easy work as a fullback.
Definitely. I think if I was Bay of Plenty, I'd be thinking, mate, I might have to try kick to the wingers, see what they've got. But yeah, Corey Craig, as we've seen there, he's definitely one of the strike players in the Auckland squad there.
Now 4 points to 0. They'll have a kick to make it 6, relatively easy out in front. I think Bay of Plenty, you'll be, as a Bay of Plenty fan, Louis, probably looking at the opening few rounds of this campaign with a little bit of trepidation, having 40+ points put on you, both of those against teams that aren't quite at the top in Waikato and Akarana. So today may be more about making sure that the score doesn't blow out then necessarily getting the W.
Definitely a challenge for Bay of Plenty. I think one, just being a big region and trying to get players to training, the commitment there is quite a challenge. I experienced that back up in Northland, but you know, I know they've got a few boys that have filled in places today, rung a few of the nephews to come and step up and represent the Bay of Plenty. So definitely a tough gig on their hands today.
And that was mentioned by Damien White in our pre-match interview there. Just, encouraging players to turn up, basically, and show up to training. But it is hard, you know, in the national competition, you get those disparities, don't you, between some of the bigger regions. Tends to be that Auckland does dominate, and some of these other regions are playing catch-up to an extent. But if they can pull some of their best players together in one position, you'd feel like a region like Bay of Plenty would be absolutely stacked with talent, as Vulcans already over halfway here off the back of points. Quick offload as well back to Ofuhi, and he goes for a little snipe through the middle as well. Errant offload goes to ground. They have to go back to retreat and pick it up just over halfway through Beale, Tommy Beale that is, and he's taken a ground by Perry from Bay of Plenty. Now out of dummy half they go again. Kohiva, they are spying little gaps around the ruck, the Vulcans, and a little bit of miscommunication out of dummy half, but finally a kick that's charged down by Bay of Plenty, and they get it back as well. Great effort from Alan Rika, who you mentioned in the pre-game, Louis, is a strike for Bay of Plenty. Good charge down and a good recovery as well. Bay of Plenty now have some good field position to start their set. Yeah,
Alan Rika there, like I mentioned before, known for his pig hunting, so I'm guessing he'll be a pretty fit fella carrying those pigs out of the bush.
Yeah, hunting for a charge down there as well, and successful in it, as the defence laxing a little bit off Haratana Hartley, and they're on the 40, Bay of Plenty, getting up and playing on tackle 2, and a slow play the ball as well. Out towards the short side, and a kick early on in the count as well. This time, Talimali goes back into the end goal, and it just trickles dead again. They haven't got those kicks right through the first 7 minutes of this game, Bay of Plenty, and once again the Vulcans will get a chance out on their own 20 with 7 tackles up their sleeve. And Craig will take the quick tap restart. The opening try scorer this afternoon, Corey Craig, at the back for the Vulcans, and looking very deadly already. And you'd expect, as the game in the hot sun here in Auckland does start to speed up, a few of those tired bodies through the middle, the gaps will start to open as well, as Fortu gets up, quick play the ball, and now the Vulcans getting a good rumble on here through Falala up towards the Bay of Plenty 20. Out of dummy half goes to Ofuhi again. Towards the left side they go. Good shape, but well cut off by Bay of Plenty, although they let go of their man, and Kohiva gets a few extras. Now about 18 away from the Bay of Plenty line. A ball playing back through the middle. Naumo. Short side they go again, where they've had a bit of success. Craig, skip pass out to the wing, and a good try in the corner for Butu. The Vulcans get their second, and they really did hammer that short side on that set, catching Bay of Plenty off guard. They weren't set on their own line, and what a pass it was from Craig. Beautiful skip towards the wing, and Butu gets the second for the Vulcans this afternoon.
Great vision there by Desi Do'ofohe, coming down that short side there, and a great ball from Corey Craig. Not only is he fast, he's got a bit of skill and vision, eh? Very classy player. Yeah,
good hands out on that left edge from Corey Craig. So he's a try and a try assist this afternoon. No fantasy points for the National Rugby League Premiership, but he'd be on a stack if there were. And it'll be another kick for Kohiva to try and add an extra 2. More difficult this time out in the edges. But the Vulcans already going about their work pretty well here in the first half. What have you noticed, Louis, just from, I guess, how they're attacking the Vulcans and exposing the Bay of Plenty defence?
Yeah, a couple of their yardage sets I've noticed are just hitting nice and tight behind the ruck. I think they're going to try tire out the Bay of Plenty middles and let their hooker Desi Do'ofohe get out and carve up that area with the support of our man that we've just seen set up that try, Corey Craig, in support. So at the moment, that's what it looks like for me. But yeah, hopefully Bay of Plenty can restrict them and keep them down that other end. They've had, the kicks that have gone dead, and now it's not too bad of a finish. Bay of Plenty starting on the 20-metre mark there, but unfortunate, missed the kick there, Auckland.
Yeah, Kohiva just pulling that one towards the left, so the score remains 10 points to 0. You're right, Lou, we haven't seen the edges really used at all for either side. It's been through the middle, and yeah, just two bad ends to the sets for Bay of Plenty in terms of their kicks, both of them going dead to give the Vulcans 7 tackles, but there's a sense that Bay of Plenty haven't really got going yet, attacking-wise, so it'll be interesting to see them open up and start to use some of the fringe players as well.
That last yardage set too, I mean, Auckland brought in their outside backs to come in and take a few carries, and those boys with their quick feet against some slower middles of Bay of Plenty, it's quite hard to defend, so definitely playing smart, Auckland.
Well, Craig just bobbles the restart, but back towards his own line, so it's all okay. Strong carry up towards his 20. And that's where the Vulcans will start off the back of points. The offer here out of dummy half. Nice shovel pass to Sulla. Over the 30 he goes to bring up the second for Auckland. They've got their pick of the left and right. They're setting it up through the middle with each play the ball. And through they go again. Absolutely steamrolling as the Ufua plays it on tackle 3. Now over the halfway they go through Ngaumo, and he gets an offload away out towards this right side, and the extra meters here, Tommy Beale, it's too easy for the Vulcans at the moment on the 4th. They go right back through the middle. They go attacking again, and it's too easy as they get an easy 10 or 15 through Sam Waterworth. And on the last tackle, they're only 15 out from the Bay of Plenty line. Towards that left side they go again. A little stab kick along the ground, and it's picked up well, though, by Bay of Plenty. They do escape this time, although we're going to get a penalty for being offside. And that means Auckland straight back on the attack. That was a dominant set right through the middle, Louis.
Yeah, what was that call there from the ref? Was that offside? Oh, just in front of the kicker, eh?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, big easy yardage set there for Auckland. They had plenty, probably need to invest a bit of energy there in defence and stop that happening. They're getting too close and easily into good ball there.
Well, they finally bring down Umo just right underneath the sticks, and then play the ball quickly back through the middle. Gets good defence from Bay of Plenty on their own line to cut down Sulla. But out of dummy half, he picks it up and goes himself. The offer he has been dominating for Auckland in this opening 12 minutes. He gets a try to go with his efforts right out in front as well. This will be surely after the kick 16 points to 0.
They're the ones that hurt quite a bit, those tries. A bit too easy there. Bay of Plenty giving him a bit too much space there. Sniffed that out.
And that just looks like fatigue, doesn't it, Louis, on your own line? You know, you've been backtracking for the best part of 2 minutes and then just not able to set yourself defensively in and around the ruck. Good recognition from Desi Ta'ofohi, and he makes it try number 3 for Auckland. This, as we mentioned earlier, Louis, just don't want it to get out of hand here for Bay of Plenty, which it has done in their other 2 games to open the season.
Like you said, it's great recognition there from that hooker. Nice quick play the ball, but they are targeting the Bay of Plenty middles there, and that's a result of the hard work of punching behind the middle pack of Bay of Plenty. So that was a benefit there for them, for Auckland. Little reward.
Is that just a matter of, I guess, hammering that middle foot until you can't anymore, Louis, or is it a matter of once that Bay of Plenty does start to fatigue, then you start spreading it wide and try and open up the edges? What's your sort of continuation of the game plan here if you're Simon Adamir and the Auckland side?
Yeah, I guess I'm going to have a guess here, but Auckland, I believe, are just hitting around the middle, testing Bay of Plenty's forward pack there. And like we just saw there, the results of that, you get fatigued in the middle for Bay of Plenty in defence, and then the reward comes like that try there we just saw from Desi Ta'ofohi, sniffing that out really well. But again, if we look at the time, it's 15 minutes in the first half. It's a period where your middles do start to feel a bit of fatigue, and you know the coach may be looking at changing a couple of the boys in the middle there and bringing on some fresh energy to lift the team again.
Well, poor Letty Muller out on this right edge. I don't think he's touched the football this afternoon as the Vulcans go straight back through the middle again and right up over the 40-metre line. It's a great carry from Butu. He is the left winger out of dummy half, going quickly as the Ta'ofohi, and right up towards the 20. Bay of Plenty desperately trying to get back and retreat on defence. Now here's Waterworth. 15 away from the Bay of Plenty line and right in the middle of the park in front of the sticks. Ta'ofohi has his pick, goes towards the right. Muller now getting a little bit more involved for the Vulcans. And now the last tackle's up, and they have gone 80 metres yet again, Auckland, and they'll go towards the left. Waterworth, line ball, and good defence from Bay of Plenty to wrap up their man, and Terrell Lefosala, and that will be a handover. So finally, Bay of Plenty are able to stop the Auckland attack, and they'll get just their third set of the game, 5 metres out from their own line.
Great contact there too by Caleb Gamlin on their right edge, that right back row. He's been playing good in the last couple of games. Watched him play against Waikato. But you can see him on his haunches out the back there, sucking in the big ones.
Well, that's the problem now, isn't it, Louis? After you've been on defence for the best part of 10 minutes, now you've got to suddenly switch it on and go back the other way. And we're already seeing here it's not as easy for Bay of Plenty as it has been for Auckland. They've only gone 20 metres, and look at that defence from Auckland. They're just not allowing Bay of Plenty to get anything through the middle. You're
definitely right, bro. And that probably emphasises the importance of ball possession. You know, how much effect it can have on the defence the longer you can hold on to that ball. And, you know, when people talk about making errors and that, look at this kid.
Oh, Craig straight back up through the middle. He's only held on by the lace around his trousers as he gets up and plays it inside the Bay of Plenty half, but they're just straight onto the attack, and that was an early click from Bay of Plenty as well. They obviously just wanted to try and get some sort of field position. The kick chase, though, wasn't strong enough, allowed Craig to just march back into Bay of Plenty's area. Now Clive Tuifua, he gives Auckland a play right on Bay of Plenty's line. Just the Bay of Plenty defence almost just waiting for Auckland to come at them. Now Gohiva playing towards Waterworth on the right. Through the hands they go. Muller. Little pass right over the top. It's a great pass as well. They exploit the edge and into the corner. Great try from Sione Falala. That was beautiful play from Auckland and exploiting Bay of Plenty, who were caught in the middle. All the attack had been coming through the middle, and then Auckland, the time they decide to spread it towards the edge, they get rewarded 20 points to 0 with just 17 minutes gone, Louis.
Yeah, nice bit of shape there from Auckland coming out to their right edge here. And tough for the winger there who's forced to make a decision being on your try line. You know, you have there's no field behind you to make up for time. So he's had to come out and make a decision and wedged on that centre, which also created the 2-on-1 there. If anything, it's probably good to jam him and hit him as soon as he catches the ball. So probably came in a little bit too late, but you know, Auckland, credit to Auckland, man. Just great skill, great vision there from that centre.
Well, I guess that's probably the point I was talking about before, Louis, of sucking Bay of Plenty into thinking you're just going to go through the middle the whole time. When you finally do spread it wide, they're not ready for it, or perhaps they're not set for it. And it did, in the end, sort of look, they made it look easy, Auckland. And Sione Falala with a nice dive into the corner as well. But they really are all over Bay of Plenty in this game. They've hardly had to do any work defensively, Auckland. Definitely not in their own half. And Kohiva will have the chance to make it 22. Can he nail this one from the sideline? They'll be tired, Bay of Plenty. It's been non-stop defence.
Was he 2 from 4?
He would be 3 from 4 if he hits that, but it stays 2 from 4. So 20 points to 0 it stays as we approach halfway through the first 40 minutes. Four tries for Auckland in the opening 20 minutes. And sitting third on the NZRL Men's Premiership standings at the moment. And this afternoon will allow them to leapfrog Akarana. Good carry off the back fence as well here. This time that's Butu. He's already scored a try this afternoon. Happy to go back through the middle, and the Bay of Plenty defence once again falling off a couple of early contacts. Play from Tuifua. Uemo gets an offload away. Craig back through the middle over halfway. Ta'ofahi finds Muller, who gives it back to his prop, Salah. Ta'ofahi out of dummy half, goes left side now. Uemo Big bodies in the middle for Auckland. They're exploiting it, and a quick go out of dummy half once again, and cut off well down the legs was Ta'ofahi looking for try number 2, and that was the last. So Bay of Plenty, they hold on again that time, and now we get replay the ball. Referee wasn't quite set.
You can see Bay of Plenty there, the effects of defending so much. You know, there's a few players on the outside there sucking in the big ones, and it makes it hard because you become less effective in attack. So that's the whole point of trying to hold on to the ball and not turn it over. Some great defence there, good shot there from Auckland.
And conversely, Louis, the energy you get as the attacking team when you have to defend, you've had this attack, your adrenaline's going, and as you can see the line speed here from Auckland, they have plenty, and the tank as that one's dropped by Bay of Plenty. Fatigue also creating a few errors that time. It was Poria Marsh, and Auckland straight back they go on the attack. Waterworth with a play the ball, and this time it's a carry from Terrell Lefosala. Ta'ofahi, Craig, another good pass towards the edge, and Auckland will go in for try number 5. Butu gets a double. And you're just a little bit worried, Louis, that this one is going to get out of hand for Bay of Plenty.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to get easy. I'd say if I was Bay of Plenty, I'd be looking at putting the ball into touch just to give your boys a bit of a rest and to stop the momentum from Auckland there. So hopefully the halves recognise that and step up and try to get the ball into touch to give the boys a bit of a smoko.
The work of Desi Ta'ofahi, the captain for Auckland, I mean, he's reading the middle so well, isn't he? He knows exactly which way to go. Marshalled around, of course, by his number 7 and Kohiva and Corey Craig, but they're seeing everything in front of them. They're seeing where Bay of Plenty are falling away. They're seeing where the space is and executing perfectly. They have been perfect through 22 minutes, Auckland.
Yeah, a good indicator too, I think, if your team's going well in attack is how much that hooker runs. And he's been getting out a lot, and it just shows to show the boys, the forward pack of Auckland, they're poking through, breaking through the tackles and getting up quick, and then he's able to have a look and get out and recognise where the defence may be sitting back a bit, and he's been exploiting them pretty well. So, yeah, real credit to Desi Ta'ofahi there.
And still some big bodies on the bench for Auckland, which will feature at some stage this afternoon. And that doesn't bode well for Bay of Plenty, as Kohiva will try and add another 2. This one he just hooks towards the left, 24 points to 0. So he's missed 3 this afternoon, Kohiva, but it's pretty elementary with the scoreboard reading as it does. Once again, Craig, nice pass out towards that left edge and quick hands from Kyle Williams. Butu with a double. Everyone will be hungry for a meat pie this afternoon from Auckland. Butu will hunt for a 3rd. There you go. There's the squib kick from Bay of Plenty. Maybe they were looking for touch, Louis. Yeah,
that's a good call. It's not a bad option, that, especially if you're trailing behind. I mean, if you can get the ball out there on kickoff, you get the ball back. So, unfortunately for Bay of Plenty, it went short, and now Auckland's nearly at halfway.
They just need some sort of momentum shifter, don't they, Bay of Plenty? Some sort of reprieve, whether it's an Auckland era or some half break for the Lakers, just to give them some confidence. They really have not fired a shot in this first half. And Auckland, with all the momentum, all the attack, and all the points to show for it as well, through 24 minutes, a point a minute for them, 24 points to 0. Now he's a run from the number 8 who's come on, Herman Retzlaff for Auckland. So fresh legs, fresh troops for Simon Idemia. Now they kick early here through Muller and straight into the hands this time of Khalil Morgan. Taken on his 10, and they get the penalty. Finally, a chance for Bay of Plenty to get out of their own end and get something going.
You did right for that call about changing the momentum there. What does that look like, and how do you do it? And sometimes you see a lot in the NRL, those great halfbacks like Nathan Cleary step up and put a 40-20 in, or someone puts a big shot on and causes an error. But those little plays is where momentum can shift there, and Bay of Plenty are crying out for a shift in momentum. We'll see what happens here. They're going to crack it over halfway, I believe, and get into good ball, which we haven't seen too much of them down there. So it'll be interesting to see what they offer up here.
Yeah, that's just those little moments to give you a little bit of extra energy. I mean, fatigue will be playing a massive factor for Bay of Plenty here, who have defended for 25 minutes straight almost. So a little bit of attack to get the spirits up. They go towards the right side. Already they've developed something pretty well here. Over halfway they go, this time through Burrell. And in a dummy half, DeMeyer finds the right edge, and they're over the 40. Now inside the Auckland half with 2 tackles to go. Slow play the ball as well, and they get the penalty. That's a good shift for them, and strong run from Gamian again on the Auckland 30. They'll kick for touch, fresh set of 6. They'll be desperate for some points.
It's probably the first time we really get to see Bay of Plenty have a good crack here and good ball. So be good to see how they set this up and how many times they shift the ball and ask questions of Auckland defence here.
Well, they're 15 away from the Auckland line, trailing by 24. And now, good carry up, back up through the middle from Te Whati. Held up well, but Bay of Plenty still on the attack. Now they're spreading it, getting it going wide early onto the left side. And a quick pass out to the corner. What a pass it was. And a great touchdown from Khalil Morgan. Bay of Plenty do get the points they were searching for. Really the first time they've had a chance to attack the Auckland line. And boy, that was silky smooth from right to left. That had the Auckland defence all over the place. And Khalil Morgan gets the first 4-pointer for Bay of Plenty.
Not too bad. Something like that could be a shift of momentum here that we were talking about for Bay of Plenty. Good try here. Nice early ball from all the players. Good face ball here from the back row on the left for Kayla Morgan there to get over. Again, you know, if they can have a good set coming out of yardage and get to the kick, I mean, that could play a big part in, you know, field possession and them getting back down there and scoring another try. But definitely a positive for Bay of Plenty.
I just sort of wish they had more of it, really, in the first half to make more of a game of it. Nothing to say they can't keep this going. They've got 13 minutes in the first half, a chance to make this 24 points to 6 for Zaya Senior. But it's funny, isn't it? Just a penalty in their own end to get a bit of extra field position, and then a penalty down the Auckland end to give them the fresh set of 6, Louis. And like I said, just a bit of that extra energy on attack that you get from being close to the opposition's line, as this one's just pulled from Senior, can really lift you. And now with points on the board, we'll see if that leads to something else.
Yeah, you're definitely right. It's so hard when you've been defending for 25 minutes. You finally get the ball back and trying to have that energy to fight for a quick play of the ball and make good decisions. But like you mentioned there, they had a penalty coming out of yardage and then got another penalty and good ball, and just a nice easy shift. And that's all it can be to shift momentum. So really good of Bay of Plenty there to put that on after so much defending.
Well, 5 tries to 1, 24 points to 4, with 12 to go in the first half. The Vulcans get us back underway. Bay of Plenty chasing, fielded by Perry. It was this left edge where they did find some success, Bay of Plenty. That time, Mataltia, who gave that pass to Kayla Morgan for the first try for Bay of Plenty.
Very experienced player, Mataltia. Spent a few years over at Cronulla as well, Titans and also the Bulldogs New South Wales Cup side. So definitely a player in the Bay of Plenty team that the boys will be looking to.
Yeah, a real stable feature of this men's premiership. Tony Mataltia, and the captain, of course, of Bay of Plenty. Now they're inside the Vulcans half. They'll be kicking here on the last through Johnson Perry and straight into the arms of Corey Craig again, who sizes up the defensive line. Corey Craig and goes through. Silky footwork, gets an offload away as well, and a decent one too to Retzlaff. And just a few extra metres for Auckland, who go back onto the attack with the 20-point advantage.
That's a great name, isn't it, Retzlaff? Herman Retzlaff. I wonder where that's from.
Sounds like an ice hockey name.
Yeah.
Vulcans down on this left edge here. Well, here's a steaming run from the back row, and he's going to go all the way, is he? He reaches out. Referee says play the ball. He was inches away. Clive to Ifua, and now they go again. That one touches turf. The referee will give it. And it's another 4-pointer for Jerry Butu, and that is the hat-trick. that left edge, Louis, it really for Auckland is where all the damage is being made. And it was Butu who got that started. Good play from Waterworth as well. And Clive, Ifua, they just couldn't contain him. He got very, very close on his own as he tried to roll over. And then with the retreating defence, easy work out of dummy half for Butu, who probably could play in the front row.
Yeah, good speed here by Clive Duifua. Left back row, captain of Te Aratu Roosters actually in the Fox. Good to see him have a big run. What a bum. I wonder how short he was there. But great try there. Number 24 for the hat-trick, yeah.
Oh, he reached over behind him, and I just instantly got thoughts of that being called a double movement in the NRL, but allowed to play the ball just inches away. But that was pretty easy work for Jerry Butu, so close to the line. Will Gohevam had the 2 points this time, as he's missed a couple this afternoon. This time he does get it right. I think his aim's finally dialed in. 30 points to 4 with 9 minutes to play in the first half. Auckland with a commanding lead.
A little bit unfortunate there for Bay of Plenty not being able to back up from that try they just got from their first try, but hopefully something happens here for them just to bring the game a little bit closer for them.
Now, just a reminder earlier this afternoon, Counties with a win over Waikato, 50 points to 0, out in front of the men's premiership here in the NZRL, and comfortably so. Down south, Canterbury with a 30 points to 20 win over Otago. Good match down there in the south. But another blowout seemingly on the cards here between Auckland and Bay of Plenty. Bay of Plenty have a mountain of work to do to keep the score even respectable at this point.
Yeah, very hard to score tries without the ball. Yeah, hopefully I think the half-time will be do a favour there for Bay of Plenty. Like we mentioned earlier, they've probably been in defence for about 90% of the first half, so definitely been a tough half there for the boys from Bay of Plenty.
Yeah, and good pace from Auckland throughout the park. They've done it through the middle, they've done it on the edges. Now here kicking on the fourth tackle, in fact, and it's a high bomb as well from Letzi Muller. Well taken by Bay of Plenty at the back. They'll have a good 80 metres to go if they want to even consider try number 2. Zaya Senior playing there quickly out of dummy half, going for a run as Te Whaiti. A lot of hands on knees, which you can understand that even tired looking at them, Louis, with all the defence they've had to do, Bay of Plenty.
Yeah, very tough. Very tough. You know what it's like when you defend that much, man. It's just takes all your energy out of you, and then, like we said earlier, you get the ball back, you can't talk. It's harder to run. It's you know, it affects your attack after that. So.
Oh, just an error down this left side for Bay of Plenty. The pass from Matatia. He was being hassled as he went to shovel it on to Caleb Morgan. A good rush up on him by Sione Falala, and that means the Vulcans will get a scrum feed inside the Bay of Plenty 30. Hunting for try number 7 in the first half, Auckland. They go left side. Oh, something off the back of the scrum. Well read by Bay of Plenty and Talamali. Now he's one of the interchanges for the Vulcans, and it's Yojo Jean. And another change as well with the dummy half. Marcus Fraser coming on. Marcus Fraser having it here from the offload from Red Slav, who now steps in to play the hooking role. Back towards the middle they go. Ball playing at the back. Muller, who's drifted in from the right side. Nice little footwork there from Baia Fortu. 10 away and out in front, Auckland. Now left, they go again. It's where all the tries have come as they go once more. Good shift though from the Bay of Plenty defence. An offload coming, but well scooped up by Bay of Plenty in that time. They drifted well from left to right, held their shape, and have put a stop to this Auckland attack right on their own goal line.
I'll tell you what, if I'm a middle and Bay of Plenty, I'll be screaming at the back saying, get your in there, get us some carries. just to get us down the field. I mean, it's we saw earlier Auckland's just been hitting the middle. Those middles for Bay of Plenty will be very, very tired. So always good to have outside backs that are aware of that can come in and sort of lift the team and help the team with a bit of energy.
Well, there hasn't been a lot of whistle blowing from the referee this afternoon. I was just thinking that was what shifted the momentum for Bay of Plenty last time, where they were able to get out of their own end through a penalty. It hasn't been one of those games this afternoon, as that one going all the way down towards the Vulcans end. It's taken at the back by Butu, who's got the hat-trick this afternoon. But it's been a relatively clean game so far. Unfortunately for Bay of Plenty, that's just made it all the harder to get out of their own end as we approach the final 4 minutes of the first half. Here is Takaya Williams. These fresh legs from Auckland playing a role back through the middle again, and here they go. Big run. Busting forward was Ngauamo, and he's still going. Over the 20, finally brought down. The two brothers on for Auckland at the moment. Now Fraser from dummy half. Retzlaff goes for a dart. Wild offload out towards the right, but it ends up working out for Auckland. Tommy Beale going for a dart. Tommy Beale goes through. Bay of Plenty in all sorts defensively, but Tommy Beale with some silky footwork. I wasn't sure about the offload from Retzlaff. It was a Hail Mary, but it was pulled in by Tommy Beale, and he just dances around the Bay of Plenty defence. Try number 7, I should say, for Auckland this afternoon, as they extend the lead just before half time.
Yeah, good little bit of footwork there from Tommy Beale. Obviously, Bay of Plenty a little bit under fatigue there, but had a few dudes to beat to get over the line. So not too bad. Good run there from Tommy.
Well, could we see 40 points before half time, Louis? That'll be quite the sight. They've had 44 put on them in round 1. Bay of Plenty 48 put on them in round 3 from Akarana.
Yeah, hopefully that half-time comes quick for Bay of Plenty there. Unfortunately, doing it a bit tough. But the two guys that I've seen come off the bench, Herman Retzlaff and Ethan Ngauamo, bringing that energy as well. Big, strong carries from those boys. Those two brothers, man, they're pretty big. Must be 6 foot plus.
There's some big boppers in that Auckland team, that's for sure. Good combination, really. They got the speed out wide, don't they, with guys like Takaya Williams and Corey Craig, Shone Falala, but then they mix it in with just these units in the middle. It is quite the potent formula for Auckland, as we've seen this afternoon.
There's good size right across the park there for Auckland, eh? They're all pretty big boys there. But Jerry Butu, Shone Falala. Probably why they've been kicking it to Corey Craig. He's the smallest of the back three.
He's doing the most damage, unfortunately. Yeah. But, I mean, you highlighted him earlier, Louis, and I'm sure they were very well aware of his ball running ability. It's one thing to know what you're dealing with. It's the other thing to stop it. Corey Craig has been silky smooth this afternoon. As that one deep kick down towards the end for the Vulcans, flirting with the touchline as well, but a good run back out of their own end from Clive to Ufua. Yoji Jean, 20 out with a player down and back play for Bay of Plenty. Here's Retzlaff again. Approaching the half-time siren with a minute to play. And Auckland, you would think, are going to be hungry for something more. They might even cook a little move up on one of the edges. Strong run from Ngabu. On halfway. Here they go towards the right. They are running with pace and getting some opportunity on the right side. A little stab kick through, chasing it well, but here comes Bay of Plenty, well scooped up at the back. They'll get a chance with 30 seconds left to put something together. Or, to your point, Louis, are they happy to just go into the sheds at this point?
Obviously, they'd love to get across the try, I think, before heading in, but yeah, they need somehow need to stop the momentum, and I think it'll be half time that'll do that for them, and then obviously go in the sheds and reassess things. Are they receiving second half? Or are they kicking off?
They will be kicking off, Bay of Plenty, unfortunately, as this will be the final play of the first 40. You would think they might get time for one more as the siren sounds there, so they will get one more play in. No, referee does say that was the end of the opening 40. Probably relieved, Bay of Plenty. Certainly not on the scoreboard, but Auckland, a comfortable lead here at Massey Park in Auckland. 36 points to 4. It is 7 tries to 1. The teams will take a chance to suck in a few big ones, and Auckland will be looking for more in the second 40 minutes. Kia ora, welcome back into Massey Park and Papakura. Second half about to get underway between Bay of Plenty and the Auckland Vulcans. The Vulcans with a big lead at the half-time break, 36 points to 4, 7 tries to 1. And the big question is, will Bay of Plenty reverse it in the second 40, or are we on our way to a cricket score? It'll be Bay of Plenty to get us back underway towards the Vulcans' end, and you would think, Louis, the first few minutes of this second half is really going to let us know how this game's going to end up.
Definitely, as you mentioned, man, it's been a tough gig for Bay of Plenty in that first half. So they're definitely zapped of energy. So they have to come out and find that somewhere to swing this game.
Tommy Beale, carry number 2 for Auckland up to the 20. He is a try scorer this afternoon. Who isn't really? 7 across the board for Auckland. And the Bay of Plenty defence, it was through the middle that Auckland did their damage, although they're spreading it wide to the edges. Here is Takaya Williams, and on the 40, inside Bay of Plenty's half. Very, very slow play, the wobble ball as well. Lucky to get away with that one, Bay of Plenty. To Ofahi, who leads the middle of this pack for Auckland. Had a spell just before half-time, but he's back on to start the second half. Now a little chip kick over the top on the last into the Bay of Plenty in goal. It's a well-weighted kick as well. Here's the chase. They keep Bay of Plenty pinned in. They drive him backwards, and that's a great start to the second half. Marcus Fraser with a beautiful touch on the boot. And Auckland straight back into their work in the second 40.
Massive set there from Auckland, finishing well, getting a repeat set here. I'll tell you what, I'm trying to... where is he? Old Retzlaff. He's got a cool name and he's got a good pair of undies on there. Nice colourful pair of knickers.
And a bit of lettuce out the back of the head as well to match it all up as the restart. Picked up by Auckland. They'll go right on the attack. Hijo Jean. Decent tackle around the legs from him, from Waya Allen. A few youngsters in this Bay of Plenty side. They'll get a run in the second half. Here's Ngaumo. And now, out of dummy half here, got Ofahi. Pass back on the inside from Muller, finds Beale. 15 away from the Bay of Plenty line.
The interchange there, eh? They've brought in Do'ofohe has come back on and starting this half.
Oh, just a dodgy pass from Retzlaff there at the hips of Yijo Jean. And Corey Craig from the Vulcans, Louis, going off actually towards the back end of that first half. So he is not featuring for Auckland in this second 40 minutes, which is a real shame for them. I mean, with a score like this, you can probably afford to be a bit more cautious, but disappointing not to see him out on the park given his excitement in that first 40 minutes. Yeah,
he was standout in that first half. We saw a bit of his individual brilliance there with setting up a couple of the tries and making some breaks himself. But something probably that'll be in favour of Bay of Plenty, having him not on the field, Corey Craig.
Well, it was Butu who seemed to be stepping into that fullback position towards the back end of that first half. So we'll see if that's where he lines up in the second 40 minutes. Bay of Plenty camped inside their own end, but quick dart out of dummy half from the number 9, and a good run from Alan Rika. But still in their own half, Bay of Plenty. It was a penalty that got them out of their own half in that first 40 minutes, opening up the scoring for them. Now they do get into the Vulcans' end. This time it's through Boki Te Whaiti. And on the last tackle, they find their number 6, Kalamali. And they let that one bounce, Auckland. That's risky business. And nearly getting it was Bay of Plenty. But Falala holding on to it. What's that golden rule, Louis? Never let the ball bounce.
Exactly
the Warriors learned
right.
that lesson against Penrith a couple of weeks ago.
That is the golden rule. You're better off going for it, and if you're unlucky and making error, it's the way it is. But you can't let it bounce. It falls into the hands of the opposition too easily.
Well, it's a much better start to the second half for Bay of Plenty than it was to the first. They are up defensively. They're more hungry. They're stringing together a few things on attack as well. Here is Retzlaff. Quick play the ball though, and right edge they go. Ngaumo. Now kicking early in the count. Just a little chip over the top this time from Leti Muller, and then drifts over the sideline. Probably a welcome break for both teams. It's been relatively frenetic through the first 4.5.
Yeah, definitely. I reckon a good tactic for Bay of Plenty would be trying to get that ball out as much as possible, only because of what the toll of the first half has been for them, and just to stop the momentum there from Auckland.
They haven't allowed much breathing space, the Vulcans. When Bay of Plenty did get down the other end, though, they did convert it into points, courtesy of Kayla Morgan. Battling towards the 30-metre line there is Fire Allen. Rika, they go to the left, flying up out of the line was Baia Fortu, but it allows Bay of Plenty a little break down that near side, the far side I should say, but then it's dropped on the edge, and Auckland want to go back the other way quickly to Kaya Williams. Well, between him and Retzlaff with the peak undies, they've nearly got the full outfit. Now back through the middle goes Butu.
Quite unfortunate there for Bay of Plenty not being able to get to that kick. Oh, and a penalty here.
Now right out in front for Auckland. I'm not sure 2 points will be on the cards really. Fresh set of 6 for them. To Ofahi takes the tap and goes straight back on with it. Clive to Ufua. Will Auckland get the first 4 points of the second half? Looking for try number 8 as they go towards the right. Retzlaff through the hands, and now they spread it wide. Tommy Beale getting half a chance, taking 9 out from the Bay of Plenty line. And a quick play the ball as well. To Ofahi. Now shoveling it on to Ngaumo. 5 metres away from the Bay of Plenty line. Back on the inside channel. Held up over the line by Bay of Plenty, although as he escaped the grasp and put it down, the referee does say held up. Here's Jean getting very close, but he'll be forced to go back out to the 10. He gives it out towards the left side. Marcus Fraser getting close, but cut off around the ankles. And they'll just go from left to right. Will there be space on this edge for them? Dancing out of the tackle was Fortu. Still going Fortu. Gives it to Beale. Beale getting close. Another offload away. Kick out towards the right edge. Here's the contest. Good take. No, he's dropped it in the air. See on that Falala. Thought he had come down with it. But Bay of Plenty escape. And a play the ball out on the 10. The score does remain 36-4. They've done a lot better, Bay of Plenty, in the second half so far.
Very lucky there to get let off the hook. I thought that Auckland winger was going to jump over him out there and score that one. Hopefully we can see a good yardage set here from Bay of Plenty.
Now 7.5 gone in the second half, and no change to the scoreboard, which did read 36-4 at half time. Bit of a dangerous area there for Auckland, but they get away with it. Bay of Plenty, they'd love an opportunity to get out of their own end through a penalty. Rika from dummy half. Not getting the same kind of purchase through the middle, Bay of Plenty, as Auckland do. I mean, they've got a lot of big bodies to go up against. And now they'll kick on the last, deep inside their own end on the 30. A kick along the ground, maybe looking for the touchline. It holds up somewhat and taken at the back. And it's Kahiva playing in that role, and he's picked up and driven backwards. And that's the kind of kick chase Bay of Plenty want. And a very slow play the wall as well for Auckland. Now Butu.
As you mentioned earlier, Galheva's dropped into fullback there. Maris Saints player, made the Fox Team of the Year as well this year. Be interesting to see what he offers from that position for the rest of the half.
Now here's Retzlaff, gets an offload away. It's not a pretty offload, but it's effective. And out on that right edge, cutting back on the inside is Butu. It was the left edge in the first half for Auckland. It's been the right edge in the second. Retzlaff again. The hair flowing out the back. Caught in the Auckland spring breeze. And now out of dummy half to Ofahi. Back to the left this time. Little stab kick over the top from Fraser. Finds a retreating Bay of Plenty inside their own end. He gets out. He's pushed backwards. Heavy contact from Jerry Butu. And they'll be forced to kick from their own line, Bay of Plenty. Another good set from Auckland.
Great set there. I mean, Bay of Plenty will be taking their time to drop kick this one out. Auckland coming down there, building pressure. Really good shot there from Butu, just to keep him in the end goal. He nearly got out there, didn't he? He crossed over the line, and then a big shot put him back in there.
Are they looking short here, Bay of Plenty? You heard the call from the sideline. It is short. Is it short enough? No, it's straight into the hands of the number 3, Pakaya Williams. And on the attack, Auckland. Bay of Plenty have held them out so far in the second half through the first 10 minutes. Can they do it again? How much can they handle from this Auckland attack? Ijo Jean, 12 away. Playing on tackle 2, out of dummy half. He goes right side. Retzlaff through the hands, finds Tommy Beale. Quickly scooped. And now, Mo. And they get a quick play of the ball. And cutting back on the inside, Ijo Jean. This time, as he got it down, he has. There was a carbon copy of a play earlier, which Ijo Jean couldn't get down over the line, but this time he does get the 4-pointer, and you can see the Bay of Plenty players are struggling to stay on their feet.
Definitely doing it tough here. Got the big man, the Ngawamo, getting a nice quick play of the ball there, dropping him back under, number 21. Score straight over the line. Very tough defending that sort of stuff, eh? You don't have much time to set your line if it's quick play the ball, and then to stop a big fella like that, it's hard to get under him. So great try there from Ijo Jean. Try number 8 for Auckland.
It is try number 8, first of the afternoon for one of the big men. Kick right out in front for Galheva, so that should be easy for him. 42-4. And still, despite giving away that 4-pointer, you'd say a much better second half so far for Bay of Plenty. Louis, they really let Auckland walk over them in that first half, but they've just had a bit more bite about them here in the second 40.
Yeah, I think they're unfortunate. I mean, a couple of those yardage sets they managed to get to the kick, but it's it's getting to a point now. It's sort of, you'd want to say last try wins if you're Bay of Plenty, but hopefully the score doesn't blow out too much for them.
Well, they made a change to the competition structure this year, NZRL. I'm not sure they'll make a change to the rules there, Louis, with last try wins, but there's always scope for innovation.
Planted the seed now. We'll see what happens.
Well, 42 points to 4 under the current rules, with 28 to play in this match, and Auckland looking for win number 2 on the season.
Man, Tommy Beale, I've just noticed a couple of his carries. He's got a really good player, really good footwork. He crossed over for a try at the back end of that first half, but just keep an eye on him. It looks like he's holding his lower back, but yeah, good back rower, in my opinion.
Yeah, good pace as well. Waterworth back onto the park as well for Auckland. Retzlaff spreading out towards this left edge. Taking a ground is Clive Tuafua. And getting away out of a couple of tackles there is Marcus Fraser, and gets a low pass away out towards this left edge, and it is Butu who's looking for try number 4, and he steams, rolls his way over in the left corner. No one wanted a bar of that from Bay of Plenty. And Jerry Butu makes it try number 4. And it is number 9 for Auckland.
He looks like he could play anywhere in the team. He's big enough to be a prop and fast enough to be a winger. Old Jerry.
He could probably be out there hunting pigs as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh, they just caught them down this left side, didn't they? Caught them napping Marcus Fraser with quick feet in and around the ruck. And then this pass just underneath the hands of Bay of Plenty. And like I said, no one wanted a Butu. Poor old Zaya Senior. He was never going to stop the big man that close to the line.
Great awareness from Marcus A coming out at hooker there. We always say if there's one marker or no markers, man, you run. Everyone just got to push with him. Still had a bit of work to do there, old Butu. A couple of boys to beat, and he managed to do so. Scoring that 4th try. 4 meat pies.
So another difficult kick from the sideline for Kohiva. It hasn't all been routine for him this afternoon. They could be ahead by a lot more, Auckland. And that one just pushed to the right. The Dogs won't be happy about that. The score remains 46 points to 4. I'd say the one on the right probably has the bigger boot, although the one on the left does definitely have the determination in the eyes. Few tips for Kohiva maybe on his next kick.
Good things come in small packages.
Well, there's certainly nothing small about Auckland. They are not only big on the park, but big on the scoreboard. 25 minutes to go in this match. Final match of Saturday afternoon NZRL action here on Sky Sport. And we've had a couple of big results earlier today. Counties 50 points to 0 over Waikato. Canterbury 30 points to 20 over Otago. And here Auckland putting a good score on Bay of Plenty, but knocked on there over halfway. Might be the first chance for Bay of Plenty though here in the second half to actually go at this Auckland line. They've had only about 3 play the balls inside the Auckland half.
We saw a good carry earlier on coming out of Yalas from Alan Rika, the number 9 there. But we just haven't seen enough of him because we're not getting enough. Here we go, penalty here. Just Bay of Plenty aren't getting quick enough play the ball for him to get out and show what he can do. Yeah,
dangerous player. He's got the look about him that he can cause some real damage. A big shot there from Waterworth. Up high on Boki Te Whaiti. All legal. Now Fire Allen, 20 away from the Auckland line. Rika from dummy half. Finding Taimaya. Good step off towards the left now. Bay of Plenty. Nice little trick play back through the middle, and Zaya Senior has taken 5 away. Getting close to the last. Bay of Plenty now quickly towards the left side they go. Held up well, driven aground. And a quick play the ball, and this is the last, but there's been a knock on, I think, in the ruck. What's the referee saying here? We will have a scrum with Auckland ball. Maybe a suggestion that there was a knock on or incorrect play the ball. Yeah, potentially. Just as he was getting up to play it quickly, wasn't able to control it. Referee deemed the infringement. Auckland now with a scrum 10 out from their own line. So that was really Bay of Plenty's first chance of the second half, Louis, to try and string something together close to the Auckland line. Just not able to execute.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Bay of Plenty. Like you're saying, they got close enough to the try line, but unfortunate not to score.
So now Auckland back on the charge. Falala.
Auckland again just attacking behind the ruck, We saw their last yardage set bringing those outside backs and coming in behind, testing those middles again. It's been a simple tactic of theirs and it's working really well. They've had a bit of joy around there. So they've got a dangerous hooker there, Desi Do'ofohe, who's the captain. He's had a lot of joy running around the ruck.
Now kick on the last here from Leti Muller. Juggled by Zaya Senior at the back for Bay of Plenty, but he holds on to it. It was 36 points to 4 at half time, 46 points to 4 at the moment. Bay of Plenty a lot more solid on defence in the second 40 minutes, but still don't have anything to show on attack. And this time, Auckland just crowd around them and drive them backwards. Kayla Morgan, who scored that try for Bay of Plenty, picked up and driven back towards his own line. And Auckland all over Bay of Plenty on this set here. They're going to be kicking well inside their own half, unless they can come up with a miracle play in the next few. Here is Matautia. Only 20 out from their own line. Dodgy play the ball and the penalty given. And that's a real sucker for Auckland, who are doing well defensively. Given away from Tommy Beale. And Matautia, it was a good strong carry from him. And he was looking for the quick play the ball as well. So good recognition from the Bay of Plenty captain. And yep, Tommy Beale all over him. Bay of Plenty, that's a reprieve for where they were in that set. About 40 out from their own line, Bay of Plenty. Now back on the field for them as well. Taumata. And out of dummy half, Rika. As you said, Louis finding those opportunities when they're getting a bit of go forward. You can sense, or he can sense, the areas around the ruck. A real danger man as they go out towards the right now, Bay of Plenty. Not able to do it fluidly, and Gamian has taken about 40 away from the Auckland line. Just a little bit stale on this set, attacking wise, Bay of Plenty, not really firing a shot. Held up in the tackle this time as Johnson Perry. Now, kick out a dummy half. That one comes off the side of the boot. In fact, you could have called it a pass. They're still going, though. And he's going to get the offload away. He does. Great hands. No, just knocked on by Bay of Plenty. Talamali. It looked like something might open up for them there, but not able to hold on to it. They're just little moments, aren't there, for Bay of Plenty, where things don't quite go their way. If they're able to pull them off, there's open space in behind that Auckland line.
It's a very common thing that happens, you know, when you start getting tired like that. Players start trying to take things into their own hands, and I'm not too sure if that's a tactic of theirs to get out and put a bomb up out of hooker there, but unfortunate they didn't get to finish that set off in a better way.
Well, an interesting crossfield kick. I'm not sure if it was intentional, but it certainly was effective. Here
Trick
is
play.
Retzlaff over the 50. Inside the Bay of Plenty half, and Tommy Beale, they've got a lot of energy about this attack on this set, Auckland. At time it's a slow play the ball from Beale. Ahead of dummy half, Dofahy. Now Retzlaff, good hit on him. Great contact from Gamian. But they go straight away again. Waterworth, Fraser, through the hands. They go out towards his left side. Williams, and a pass out again to Butu, who's going to get try number 5. And Auckland bring up 10 for the afternoon. The 50-point is on the board. And this just came from speed right across the park from Auckland. When they decide to spread it with a big man like that out on the edge, they are hard to stop.
Good simple play here from Auckland. Good setup, nice early ball, simple shape, good lines. And again, putting Butu over. Man, 5 tries. So it doesn't happen very often when you score 5 tries. Scoring a try can be hard for some, let alone 5.
Well, there'll be someone out there crunching the numbers on a record for an NZRL men's premiership game. 5 would be getting close, you would think. And once again with a kick out on the left, what do the Dogs make of this one? They might have disappeared. They might have given up on Kahiva. Looking for 52, which they've got the rivalry with counties, the Vulcans. That one does go through 52-4. They've got that rivalry, obviously grand final last year where they won in Golden Point, Auckland. Counties 50 points to 0 over Waikato this afternoon. So they're 2 points away from the margin.
How's our ladder looking at the moment?
Well, Counties at the top, undefeated. Akarana just tucked in behind, but if Auckland get a win this afternoon, it's particularly with the margin. It's a big if, but sport's a funny thing. 48 points in 17 minutes. What a story that would be, Louis.
It would be. I'd be checking registrations, everything for that one. It'd probably come next week if it could happen.
Well, yeah, there might be all sorts of investigations going on if that was the result, given how this game's played out. Retzlaff towards halfway. Now over the halfway line they go. Dofahy. That one, is that stripped in the tackle as well? Dofahy holding on. Does hold on to it. Now in a dummy half, quickly Fraser. Waterworth, ball back on the inside. Cutting back is Tauifua. Retzlaff. He's got through a lot of minutes today, Herman Retzlaff. He's got a motor, that's for sure. Now on the last tackle, a kick towards the right side, stabbed over the top into the Bay of Plenty in goal once more. That time they're allowed to let it bounce out of touch, out of play, and they this time will get the 7 tackle set. Letty Muller, who looked like he had found a bit of space, but just got the end over end roll wrong. 15 minutes to go in this match. The score does remain 52-4. They just don't stop, do they, Auckland? It's
Massive shot,
right
massive
back
shot
up in the
there.
Bay of Plenty's face.
It'll be interesting to see the meters on some of those middles for Auckland. They've had the ball that much, but they've been working very hard. There's been, what's our man up the middle there? Herman Retzlaff. He would have a lot of meters, as well as the Ngawamo boys. They've been eating the meters up as well, but yeah, a lot of work there for them in attack.
Well, yeah, it's all obviously elementary in terms of the result, but Bay of Plenty just want to start building, I guess, points in attack. That is something we mentioned before the game got underway as they go out towards the left, and Morgan threatening, giving the ball back on the inside to Senior, who's wrapped up in strong contact from Auckland. 2 defenders on him. Yeah, they've only scored 24 points through the first 2 games in a competition where points are pretty easy to come by. That one taken out of the tackle, and the referee does rule that it was done illegally. As we see here, it was Gaki Johnson who had the little goose step pre-contact as well. Yeah, that's pretty obvious there from the Ofahi. Maybe that was just a reliever for his side retreating. They plenty want points in the second half. They're hungry for them. Rika from dummy half out towards the left. That's a little kick through, I think, on the second tackle from Matatia. Not sure that was the right play. He's given it straight back to Auckland. He must have seen something no one else did. Unfortunately, the boot didn't play with the mind, and Auckland just able to come back the other way.
It's crazy, but it's almost like your default mechanisms where you start thinking, oh, I've got to create something or pull something out of my pocket to get back in the game. But unfortunately, it doesn't really work that way.
Well, was that a pass that went forward? Referee's okay with it, and it comes all the way out towards the left edge, and here goes the big man, Jerry Butu, and that is try number 6. There will be question marks over the pass from Retzlaff. I think Bay of Plenty thought it was going to be called up. They all gave up on the play, and Jerry Butu gets try number 6 on the afternoon. Definite questions over that pass on the deck from Retzlaff. Got a bit of pace as well, Jerry Butu. It was this pass here from Retzlaff, who no hands on him, so free to play the ball, but did it drift forward?
When you got a mullet and pink undies on, you can do what you want, I reckon. Good little offload there from Herman.
Well, perhaps it was the underwear that distracted the referee from making a decision. In any case, Jerry Butu, 6 tries today. Quite incredible, really. And it is a big score, 56 points to 4. But you would think, if you saw that scoreboard on your social media, Louis, you'd think everyone got involved. But no, it's been Jerry Butu taking all the chocolates.
Yeah, it's one of those games where if you're one of the blokes that don't score, it's a bummer. But you're right, he has taken 6 of the tries, Jerry Butu.
Good kick there from Gohiva. There you go, 7-11, or 7 from 11 today. He missed a few in the first half. He's found his groove in the second, thanks to the K9 coaches on the sideline. 12 is under.
What do you do here? Do you go short, kick it deep?
Wow. So, I mean, Bay of Plenty,
kick it out.
If you coach Damien White, you just want to see a little something, don't you, in this final 10 minutes? Throw something at them. Try a few things. Just see if you can get more points on the board. I mean, you know that result's going nowhere. And this is a run off the kickoff, and it's a big run as well from Naumo, and that is David, not brother Ethan. Both of them playing for Auckland this afternoon, right over halfway. Or just shy of halfway, I should say, but right off the kickoff. And Auckland are not going to stop at 58, you would think. Retzlaff again. He just likes to go left and right, getting an offload. It hits a Bay of Plenty hand, but it's all okay as Auckland pick it back up through Waterworth. And they've got Bay of Plenty retreating at a rate of knots out towards the right side now. Back on the inside to Retzlaff, looking for an offload yet again. Waterworth picks it up. He might take a stab for the line. Offloads all over the place, and Fraser finally goes to ground 8 away from the Bay of Plenty line. Now out towards the right they go. Muller through the hands, out towards the back, and the right edge they're looking to exploit. Good dancing through they go, and it is Baia Fortu, one of the only men in the back line who hasn't scored this afternoon. He adds another 4 points, and they tick over the 60-point mark, the Vulcans.
And I think that could be try number 13 there for Auckland. I'm not too sure. Does that sound about right?
I think we might be at 12 there, but I'd forgive you for losing count, Louis.
Lost count of... I know Potu's got 6. That's all I know. I can count up to 7.
Yeah, that's all you need to know at this stage. By Fortu, though, adding to it for Auckland. Yeah, 12 tries at the moment with 9 minutes to play.
What about Herman? Herman's had so much, had a hand in every set in some way. Retzlaff, he's been very effective in the middle there.
Well, he didn't start the game, but he's been on ever since. He ran on, I think, probably after the 15-20 minute mark. So he's had good minutes out there. And you're right, he has dominated that middle area of the park for Auckland and set a lot of that attack up. Allows them to just take their pick left and right. Colheaver hasn't had many to hit from the right side. He's been able to bring them around on the angle. That one looks okay, but it just drifts to the right of the uprights. And the score remains 62 points for 2-4, 70 on the cards for Auckland. Plenty of time to do it.
Wow, big score, unfortunately, for Bay of Plenty. A friend of mine, Johnson, Eddie Johnson there, number 7 for Bay of Plenty, unfortunately not having the best afternoon out of Papakura.
But it's a tough trip, isn't it, for Bay of Plenty? Coming up, getting absolutely spanked at Papakura, and then I'm sure a long journey back as well, probably in traffic, as Auckland take the restart, 20 away from their own line. Falala, you can see, I mean, the Bay of Plenty defence in the second half to start, certainly Louis was a lot stronger, but you can see now just it's that fatigue creeping back in. It's the probably a lack of motivation, and Auckland are finding it very easy once more to just go straight back up through the middle, and that is where they go, playing it as Yijo Jean over the halfway line, getting told to march back, which gives Bay of Plenty a little bit of time to get set. Now Waterworth. Right edge they go, back on the inside, fresh legs too, as Salah back on the field for Auckland. Plays the ball just over the 40. Rumbling forward, and a very hard man to bring down, and gets an offload away. It was a great one from Yijo Jean, and now busting back up is Naumo, and he gets an offload away. Now there's space on the right side, cutting back off his right foot is Salah. And could they be in here? Paia Fortu searching, hunting, going close, but driven backwards.
Got a feeling try number 7's coming here for Jerry Potu.
Oh, you heard it from Louis, and Instead, it is Yisho Jean back through the middle of the ruck. He didn't give him a chance to spread it towards the left. Yisho, he just wanted to go himself. And try number 13 for the Vulcans, 66 points to 4. With a kick to come, that 70-point mark is not far away. Maybe they did want to go towards the right, but Yisho Jean said, you know what? I'll have a go myself, thanks. But once again, I mean, the work from the Ofahi, you mentioned Herman Retzlaff as the ball runner through the middle, but certainly Desi Ofahi running the game from that hooking position. He's been the orchestrator, really, of the attack this afternoon, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been awesome. Very, very effective. Obviously, they've had the ball for the majority of the game, and he's played a massive part in it. Obviously, leading them around the park and which side they play. And, you know, he's captain, so responsibility of leadership falls on him naturally with that attached to his name. But, you know, he made the Fox Team of the Year this year as well. Another strong player there for Auckland. Old Desi Do'ofohe.
Jerry Butu taking the kicking duties there, and that's, I mean, that's just the younger generation, isn't it? You score 6 tries, you think you can start taking the kicks. He's pushed that one towards the right. Not sure he'll be allowed to have the tee again. Maybe he was just giving Kahiva a break.
You can do what you want when you score 6 tries, right? Far out.
You certainly can, and I don't think when your team's up by 62 points, missing 2 is really going to be a coach killer. 5 to go, though, in this match. 70 is what the Vulcans are looking for. Bay of Plenty don't want to let that one hang up in the breeze. Oh, big contact on both attack and defence there. That is Butu taking the carry.
Bay of Plenty looking to finish with a bit of pride and a bit of power in their defence here, it looks like.
Umo, he's just such a hard man to put down, isn't he? The big striding legs through the middle. Generally evades the first couple of tackles.
Yeah, and he's not just a straight up and down guy. He's got a little bit of footwork and an offload, so offers a lot, that middle, number 17, Ngawamo.
Yeah, Waterworth as well. They're in the 13 jersey. Offloads out towards the right side. Dancing with the touchline, but not dancing well enough because he's been pulled up on the right side. Hesione Falala. Or were we looking potentially at a forward pass called from the referee? They found some more space. It definitely looked forward. Yep, the touchy, I think. Signalling it to the referee. But I mean, we talked about this, Louis, didn't we? The size of this Auckland team. There's big bodies, there's tall bodies, there's dynamic bodies. They really do across the 17 have a really complete package.
Definitely. I mean, hard to defend a team that offers so much versatility. You've got middles here that can ball play, footwork. Their number 13's been playing really well as well. Sam Waterworth there from the Raiders. So, yeah, a lot to handle if you're playing against them, but definitely not impossible. There's certain ways to combat that sort of stuff, and, you know, playing quick against their middles and making them move around the park is one way to fatigue them. But Bay of Plenty obviously not having the ball enough to be able to benefit from that. So, unfortunately, we see the score that sits up there, 66-4 to Auckland.
Yeah, well, the competition certainly shaping up as another county's Auckland competition. Those two meeting in the grand final last year. They met in round 2. It was counties getting the win 17 points to 8. But obviously a lot closer than 66 points to 4. As we close in very shortly on the final few minutes of this game. 13 tries for Auckland this afternoon. 6 tries to Jerry Butu. A great outing for the number 24, and you don't hear 24 often mentioned in rugby league, but there are a few lotto numbers on the Auckland jerseys this afternoon. They decide that they're going to shift all the way to the left, but it's bobbled and dropped. Bay of Plenty weren't quick to jump on that. There might have been a bit of space in behind him. They've been able to scoop it up, but Clive to a foot, letting it go on halfway And that might be the 70-point mark out of range now for Auckland with just 90 seconds left to go. They might just avoid the rain here as well, Louis, with some great clouds developing at Massey Park. Would have been an interesting afternoon had the rain been bucketing down.
I reckon Bay of Plenty would have welcomed the weather if it was to rain.
Yep.
Might have evened things up a little bit on the park.
Well, certainly these offloads would have been a little bit harder to pull off. That has been a big part of the attack this afternoon for Auckland. It's just the second phase football. Matati are playing this one for Bay of Plenty on the 30 with a minute left to go. Strong contact up high on Burrell. Well, if Bay of Plenty could score right before full time, that would be a great marker for them as they shift towards the right. Senior cutting back in field, trying to get through the Auckland defence, getting away from a couple, but eventually wrapped up well. In fact, he's still going, Senior. Eventually they bring him down. 12 away from their own line, Auckland and Bay of Plenty. Bit of a slow play out towards the left. Inside ball, not read well. Didn't quite communicate with one another. Auckland come away with it. And that could be the end of the attacking afternoon for Bay of Plenty. In fact, it could be the end of the afternoon full stop. Auckland might just go for one more. Here goes Jerry Butu. Is he going to go himself? No one's in behind. No, yes, they pick it up at the back through Senior. Butu chasing him and hassling him. And Senior might go back the other way. Gets a big offload out towards the right. A little kick in behind. That one goes over the dead ball line and a frenetic way to end the match. 66 points to 4. Auckland with a massive win and a big statement over Bay of Plenty. A bit of late excitement. You'd say a relatively better second half from Bay of Plenty, Louis, but it was really Auckland all the way across the 80 minutes. Yeah,
very, very dominant performance there from Auckland. Feeling for Bay of Plenty there. Obviously the travel and other challenges and barriers that they have pulling everyone together. But, you know, hats off to both teams. Auckland sticking to their guns and executing what they needed today to win by such a great margin.
66 points to 4. 13 tries across the match for Auckland. Let's have a look at a few of them here in the second half, where they got underway. It took them a while to get their feet going in the second 40 minutes, considering what they did in the first half, but they eventually got there. Yoji Jean, who was held up earlier, finally went over to open the scoring in the second half.
Here we go here. Nice start here again. Again, one marker taking the opportunity to run and down the left edge to our man, Jerry Butu. Hard to stop here. Had a couple to beat and managed to do so pretty easily. So.
Well, once again, took a few minutes to get their groove back on attack, Auckland, but beautiful right to left play, some great ball handling, and that was Jerry Butu going in once more as he went towards try number 6.
Here we go, our man Herman, offload off the ground, bit of a bounce there. Bay of Plenty slow to react, but again, the Jerry Butu show continues. The big man going over again for maybe his 5th or 6th try there.
That was try number 6 for Jerry, and then they thought, why not go out towards the right edge and try something different. Great footwork from Butu, and he got his first of the afternoon.
And our last try here to finish the game for Auckland. Nice turn in to the middle for his second try, Yujo John.
Yeah, all Auckland in the second half. No points for Bay of Plenty, unfortunately. 13 tries for Auckland, and they were able to string together some pretty good attack. I don't say put the competition on notice, but certainly showing the competition that as the reigning champs, they're here to play. And we mentioned so much talent, Louis, across the park, a lot of different variation and versatility. You mentioned how hard that is to play against. Not impossible, but certainly too hard for Bay of Plenty this afternoon. And in a competition like this, having so many characteristics across your team must be just a real tick in the box for Simon Idemir and his coaching staff.
Yeah, you did right there. It's just more strings to the bow, you know, for Auckland. And I know Auckland are missing a couple of their key players as well. So I don't know if we're going to see them again come back and play. But there's Doyle, who plays lock for them, who's been doing really well, and Pat Sipley as well, another experienced player that's part of the squad. But Very, very tough campaign for Bay of Plenty. Feeling for them this afternoon.
Well, a man who was involved in a few of the tries this afternoon is the man in number 22 for Auckland, and that is Marcus Fraser. He's down on the sideline with us now.
We're here with Marcus Fraser from the Auckland Vulcans. Marcus, over 60 on the scoreboard. Were you pleased with the performance?
Yeah, it's always good when you score that many points. Yeah, but we still have a lot to work on, especially on our defence. I think we let in one try today, and yeah, it's just not quite our standards. So yeah, we've got one more game, so we just look to build and improve on that.
You know, on attack, you look like you had threats everywhere. Do you train for that, and how do you build it?
Yeah, I think we've got talent like in all positions, and it's just about giving them space and opportunities to, I guess, showcase it. And yeah, the boys did that well today.
I mean, you had some unreal individual performances. I think Butu got 6 tries. Who stood out to you?
Yeah, well, yeah, when you score that many points, I think, you know, that's an impressive thing. But I think credit to our forwards, they probably just, you know, set the platform for him to score out wide. So, yeah, I think all our middles did well today.
Hey, well done, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you, thank you.
There you go, Marcus Fraser, and I think he was right, Louis. The forwards really did lay the platform, didn't they? They only got 2 tries in the forward pack this afternoon. A lot of the credit going towards the backs, but certainly it was the forward pack and the middle that did a lot of the damage for Auckland.
Yeah, we saw those middles tacking behind the ruck there throughout the whole game. Again, laying that foundation that gives the backs the opportunities out wide to score. But massive work there from the middles in Auckland. Big engine room there, some boys playing some big minutes as well.
And not only the 66 points, but the 4 must be pleasing as well, defensively.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately for Bay of Plenty, you know, they lacked a little bit in attack and asking questions there of the defence of Auckland. But you know, you've got to acknowledge Auckland there with how dominant they were and how well they held onto the ball.
Well, we'll cross live now to Tony Matautia, unfortunately the losing captain for Bay of Plenty, and what he thought of this afternoon's game.
We're here with Tony Matautia. It's a tough game. Talk us through it.
There's not too much to talk about. I guess we've struggled, you know, like to turn up every week. Like I say, every week really, it's a whole different level of footy coming up against these Auckland teams, and they're showing us every week why they are that step above us. Really, it's a good experience for the lads just to show them really where they need to get to in their footy careers, but. Yeah, it's a bit hard when we're turning the ball over when we've actually got the ball, and you know they make us pay for it every time we do really. So it's just trying to work on those things. We've got one more game against Counties next week, so hopefully we can turn up and put a bit of effort in and come away with a closer result, I guess.
You know, it takes a lot of heart to face up to big packs like Vulcans and Counties. You know, how hard is it physically, and when you're out there, you know, what's going through your head?
Yeah, you've seen it really. They're like I said, they're that step above really. All their boys run hard, and you know they got wingers the size of our middles. So when we're sort of on the back foot the whole time, it sort of takes a toll on the body. So when we even do get the ball, it's a bit hard to get a bit of shape on because we're sort of compounding those sets in defence. And yeah, it is physically real tough actually, and you hear it in the change rooms after the games. The boys are. Especially for the boys that debuted today, I bet you I'll go in the change rooms and they'll go far out. It's a step above the Bay comp. So, yeah, it's real tough, bro. It is real tough.
You know, it's a proud region. You know, how are you going to approach next week?
Yeah, it's a tough question, really. Try and G the boys up before the game about, you know, just giving their all. And there are efforts out there, you know, like a little hooker in the middle, Alan, he's the smallest one on the field, but there's no doubt he's got the biggest heart. So, yeah, it's just about trying to, if we're not going to get the win, just going down swinging, really. We know it's going to be a tough battle against Counties. They sort of gave it to us first round last year too, so sort of just got to turn up and try and give it our all, really.
Awesome. Heads up.
Yeah, too much bar.
Tony Matautia from Bay of Plenty there. 2 games or a few games to come up tomorrow, starting with the Women's Premiership. Waikato coming up against the Yorkers. Kick off at 12 p.m. there. And the men's side, the Orcas up against the Eels. That's at 2 p.m. in the South competition as well. That is us from Massey Park here in Papakura, Auckland, and the Vulcans. Big winners over Bay of Plenty, 66 points to 4, 13 tries to 1. They get win number 2 on the season. Bay of Plenty will be licking their wounds as they look to go home next week. That is us here from Massey Park in Papakura. Plenty more NZRL women's and men's premiership action to come tomorrow here on Sky Sport.